Hi, it's Max back and I've got this weird video that I'm about to do. I'm going to talk real quick, otherwise it's going to be extraordinarily long. Okay, what's prompted this? This is how I plan I will get through any event that this winter throws at me. And I'll tell you how it came about. I'll go into more detail as we go along. 2 years ago, in the town I was living in then, I've since moved. I've moved into the state capital. But the town I was living in then was hit by a horrific summer storm. It ripped that town apart. People lost their roofs, trees fell on houses, roads were blocked, electricity poles came down like dominoes. It lasted about an hour and a half and it left a total devastated town. The whole town was without power, including me. We had no shops open, they couldn't serve people, they had no power, we had no gas stations, couldn't pump gas, couldn't get money out of ATMs, the banks all shut. And it made me realise I was the idiot abroad. I'm not used to these extreme weather events. And I realised how stupid I'd been and how ill prepared I was for anything like that now I'm living in America, where these events aren't uncommon, these extreme weather events. But I didn't have even a small bottle of water in my fridge to give to my dog. I had nothing. I had no shelf-stable food. I had a freezer full of food and a fridge full of food, but I had no shelf-stable food. It was a mess. Anyway, I lived near a hospital at the time, and I think because we must have been on the same circuit, my street was put back on the third day. Towards the evening of the third day, we got our power back because I guess we were near the hospital. But the rest of the town, most of the town, had to wait about 2.5 weeks, and I can't imagine what that would have been like. But after that event, it made me think, you know what, you're going to have to do something on a budget, but you're going to have to prepare yourself. And it sort of developed into preparing myself to make my life more comfortable should anything happen this winter. And I'm talking maybe the flu virus coupling with what we're already dealing with could cause something that none of us have planned for. It could be a total shutdown again. It could be a blizzard. It could be hazardous black ice road conditions, power outages or no power outages. I just want to know that if anything happens, I can make my life more comfortable. So I'm not prepping in that generalized term. I'm not. It's just stuff I'm doing to make my life more comfortable. Let's start. The first thing was I vowed from that day on that I would never be without shelf-stable food. I still have a freezer, I still have stuff in it, but I have a pantry full of food. And the obvious things that you're going to use if you're without power: cans of soup. I'll tell you if this stuff was from the Dollar Tree, and it's Campbell's Kitchen Classics chicken noodle soup. Who doesn't like Jewish penicillin? Who doesn't like chicken noodle soup? I saw this at the Dollar Tree, a year ago, and I bought 5 cans. I didn't have to taste it because I knew I'd like it, so I got that. I also saw some other soups. None of this I think is available now, but obviously other soups are. This is the tomato Florentine with Italian sausage. I bought one of these, I got it home, I tried it, I liked it, I went back, I bought 5 more. I'm down to 4. But this is a good soup because it contains your protein, you don't have to add water. All this stuff I'm going to show you still has a shelf life of 2 years, but I rotate. So, if I eat one of these, I'll replace it. Maybe not with this, but with something else. So that's that. Then obviously, every time I see something at the Dollar Tree, I pick it up. This is also a Dollar Tree, the Progresso Organic Minestrone Soup. I've got 5 of these. I tried it before I bought 5. I liked it. I stocked up on it. Again, shelf life, 2 years. Then, apart from that, I also I don't want to live on soup. Say I'm stuck in here for a week. I don't want to live on soup. I love black beans and rice. My friend, who's from Louisiana, cooked me this one time and I was underawed. I thought, black beans and rice. She gave it to me with all her Cajun magic mixed in, her seasoning. It was delicious. I have several cans of the black beans. They came from the Dollar Tree, great value for those. And this rice, I believe, came from the Dollar Tree, but I can't be 100% certain, but I almost am. And the reason I don't use this rice on, if I'm using rice and we're not in an emergency situation, I use jasmine rice. This rice, the reason I got it, and again, I have about 5 packs of this, is because it's called 5-minute rice. So what you do is you put the rice in a pan, I think it's 1 cup of rice and 1 cup of water, bring the water to a boil, turn off your heat source, which is important, conserving energy. Turn off your heat source, cover the pan with a lid or a plate, and let it rest for 5 minutes. And you end up with fluffy rice. There's 4 servings in there. It's a good rice to cook because, like I say, it uses very little energy. So I've got 5 boxes of those. The next thing you want, oh, and I've got several boxes of these. Several boxes, cans of these. And I think these came from the Dollar Tree, but again, I can't be certain, but they do sell bigger cans of this at the Dollar Tree. I can eat these cold. In fact, I prefer baked beans, pork and beans cold. But that's just me. Life will get very boring if you just ate the same thing, so you've got to have some fruit. These came from the Dollar Tree. They're peaches. I've rotated them. Every time I use one, I buy another one. I make peach cobbler with this, but I make sure I replace it. So I've got some kind of fruit, because that's what I like. I like fruit. These tins of chicken came from the Dollar Tree. I buy these all the time. You don't see them in my hauls because I don't haul them. I just put them in my pantry. I've probably got 10 tins of this. Again, extremely good expiry date. I use these very often, mainly when I make chicken salad. Open a can of that, drain it, put some mayonnaise, some Worcestershire sauce, but the chicken variety that you can buy in Kroger. Mix some of that in, some grapes and some chopped celery. Boom, I like it on a croissant, and this makes 2. So I've got about 10 of those in my pantry, but you can use that chicken for anything. And I like the white chicken other than the brown chicken. Right, so here we go. I also like a meal. I don't want to live on soup. I don't want to live on beans. So they sell these at the Dollar Tree. $1 a can, chicken and dumplings, name brand, Swanson. These are really delicious. I eat these sometimes when it's not an emergency situation. I'm just hungry. And they're great. Couple it with this. Mashed potato. Only needs water, but if I'm non-emergency, I'll use milk and water, and then I'll put a knob of butter in. Perfect. And then if you want to, a can of green beans. And you've got a delicious, and I mean delicious, because these are good, these Swansons, a delicious meal. I could handle that, definitely. Okay, the next thing, I've also got cans of tuna, many cans of tuna, and I've just got some things that I like. These are weird, but I'm English, excuse me. These are herrings in a white wine sauce. You eat them cold. I love them with potato salad, but I can just as happily open that can and eat the lot. I just have things that I know I'll like. You might not. Then I got this from the Dollar Tree. It's pancake mix. How easy would that be? Just add water, don't need to add anything else. So that would be good. Excellent, in fact. And I also got this. I've had these a while, but they're not expired. And if they do, I'll just cook them. And a pancake syrup. Not maple syrup, just your old pancake syrup. So I got those. And again, when the sweet thing hits you, you've got something. And that's important. Variety. If you're stuck at home, you can't get out for whatever reason, I also got several of these. These are the overnight oats. Put cold water in them before you go to bed. They're ready to eat in the morning. Excellent. You don't even have to dirty your bowl. They're all there. So I got several of those. Okay, the next thing, oil. Olive oil. I keep olive oil in my house. It's the only oil I use. Olive oil doesn't go off. You've got to believe me, it doesn't go off. Unless it's subjected to strong sunlight. That's its worst enemy, is sunlight. Buy your olive oil in the darkest bottle you can find. If you find it in a clear plastic bottle, go past it. Look for these that are in the darkest glass. I refill this bottle because I buy mine in a can. I'm getting out of breath, I'm talking so quickly. I buy my olive oil in a can and then I decant it into this big old bottle. I love this bottle. So the darker the bottle, the better the olive oil because it will have been preserved. They found olive oil in Roman terracotta urns. The Romans used to bury their urns underground with an open top, and they found urns intact from the Roman era with edible olive oil still in it. It does not go off. Ignore the expiry date if it's been stored in a cool, dark place. The bottle is the dark place. Keep it cool. You don't refrigerate it, but keep it cool. So that's the food. The next thing was water. You know, when you're stuck and you haven't even thought ahead, and I didn't even have water for my baby girl. So over the past few months, and again, I haven't bothered to haul it, I have been buying these, well, it's heavy, that's why I only buy one at a time, gallon bottles of water from the Dollar Tree. It's a Niagara brand, it's a family-run company, it's BPA free, and it's purified water. I have acquired, I think I've got 10 gallons now, which isn't enough. I need to do better and get some more because I have one of those automatic water dispensers for my dog and she drinks a gallon a day. So 10 gallons is not enough and I'm going to do better. As I say, when I remember, I just grab one of those. They're always on the wrong side of the tills. They're never up where the other bottled water is. And so sometimes I forget, and then I walk out without one. But I'm doing better and I've got 10 gallons. At the moment, I'm storing it in my closet because it's too warm in my garage. But come the colder weather, I'll transfer it from my closet down to my garage and it will be there. Okay, one of the things that really made my life uncomfortable when we lost that power was I couldn't make a coffee. I had a Keurig. I no longer have a Keurig because I started drinking instant coffee. All I need to make this is boiling water. That's all. However, before I got onto instant coffee, which was only about a year ago, I decided I needed an alternative to an electric coffee maker. I got myself this, okay? You put the coffee in, you put the water in, and it perks it, and you can put it on a stovetop. I've used it on my ceramic stovetop, but it's also good on gas. So I got that, and I have used it a few times, and I just got it so that I could have it in an emergency. I also have this, which is a cafetiere, used all over Europe. I've always had one of these. You put the coffee in the bottom. This metal band here helps keep it hot. Take that out, put hot water on the coffee, however strong you want to make it. Leave it up like that until the coffee is suitably at your strength that you like it. Then you plunge. All the coffee grounds go to the bottom and you've got a lovely cup of coffee. Not for the stovetop, but it just needs boiling water put on top. Okay, milk, because I don't drink black coffee. Oh, and I've also got lots of these. I've started to buy one or two of these just to keep, in case I ever run out of instant coffee. I do have these. These are vacuum packed. They last forever. Seriously, last forever. I've got one open, one in the cabinet, and I've got this one in my tote. Okay. Milk. This stuff. Every time I go to the Dollar Tree, I buy one or two. The expiry date on this is 2021, end of. This is excellent stuff. It's shelf stable. So it's good until the end of next year, until you open it. When you open it, it should be refrigerated. Obviously, if you haven't got power, you can't refrigerate it. But it's there. But in case all your milk goes off, I have this. And this is excellent stuff. You can give this to kids and everything. It's not baby food. It's dehydrated milk. And this is a massive, massive can. And I got this in February. And it's a quarter of a cup of milk powder. And you pour warm water on it, not hot. If you don't want hot, not hot. Warm water. And you've got milk. And you can use this to cook with. You can drink it. It tastes good. I buy this, but I buy it in a different way. I buy it in bags from Kroger because I use the dry milk powder all the time for making my dog's milk bones. I bake her milk bones. But this is a big can. It's got a great expiration date on it, and I just put this away and I've forgotten about it. It's an emergency thing. When it's coming up to the expiration date, then I will use it to make her milk bones, and I've not lost anything, but it's there if I need it. Okay, that's food. Don't judge me. toasted caramel whiskey. I know I live in bourbon country. I'm surrounded by some of the best bourbon distilleries in the world, like Woodford Reserve and Wild Turkey, Four Roses, they're all around here. I like this. This was actually a gift because someone knew I liked it. And it's caramel flavoured whiskey. And what I do in the winter to warm myself up, not in an emergency, just because I like it, I would pour a tot of this in a glass and top it up with some warm water and drink it, and it's beautiful. I love it. It warms you from inside out, and if you're stuck indoors and you've got no power or there's a blizzard outside, that's great. Warm you up. The same thing applies to this. Tennessee, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey Whiskey. I've obviously attacked that one. But I drank that when I had a sore throat, and I put a little bit more honey in it. I'm not a huge lover of honey, but I don't mind it in drinks. I put some honey in it and some lemon, and it was nice. I enjoyed it. And it does, it warms you up from the inside out. So if you are cold, that's the thing. All right, don't judge me. I'm not an alcoholic. I just like a tot. Okay, so you're thinking, well, she's got all this food. How's she going to heat it up? Some things I don't mind cold, but there's cold minestrone soup? No, I don't think so. Or cold chicken and dumplings. So I bought myself this. Okay, can you see the picture of it? It's a 1-burner gas camping stove. You can use it indoors, and it powers on like an aerosol. It's like a household aerosol, not a gas bottle. I think there's a picture of it somewhere there. Just an aerosol can, and each can gives you 5 hours of cooking time on that 1 burner. You ignite it with a push of a button, turn it on, ignite, cook. 5 hours of cooking time per gas container. I have 4. So I've got 20 hours of cooking time on a 1 burner. I got this from Amazon. I had an Amazon gift card for $17. This was $18. So it effectively cost me $1, but I still think $18 for a cooking sauce that you can use in a well-ventilated room is pretty good. So I figure with the mat under it, I can cook on my work surface. And I have got a means of heating up all that food I showed you, making pancakes, doing what on earth I like. I'm not gonna suffer like I did before. Okay, during this 3 days, my phone died. It died. It was to be my source of entertainment because using 4G I could have watched YouTube, but I couldn't do anything because it just died on me. And I found myself twice going out to my car, running my car that was already low in gas, and I couldn't get to the gas stations because they were still closed. Running my car for about an hour to charge my phone. That wasn't going to happen again, so I got myself these. The first one I got was this. These are power packs, battery packs. I guess I was drawn to the pretty colour of this because I bought myself this one and a rose gold. The rose gold one is over there on charge. This is a battery. You plug your phone in there, and this one, this make, which is a Bonai, and I've got 2, will charge my phone from dead empty to 100% full 5 times. I've tested it. I liked it, I bought another one. So I have 2 of those, so I've got 10 charges of my phone. But I was a bit sort of fickle on that one because I was drawn to the pretty colours, obviously, because later I found that one, and it was almost the same price. This one will tell you how charged you are. Where's the button? Okay, so it will tell you I'm 100% charged. And this has 2 points, see? So I can charge my phone and my iPad or my phone and what I'm about to show you. It also has a flashlight, which I probably wouldn't use, but it has one. And like I say, it will tell you how charged you are. I'm 100% on that. This will charge my phone 12 times. It's done it, it works. You recharge these so make sure they're charged all the time. I regularly check them, and I just plug them in quickly if I think they're running low. But you charge it just on your regular, household electricity. They're amazing things. I wish I'd had one back then, 2 years ago. I've only got the 3, but with a 5, and a 12. I've got 22 charges on my phone before these things die on me. But the good thing with these is you can charge anything. And this is where I'm gonna sound so vain and so fickle, and I'm almost embarrassed to say anything. During those 3 days, the one thing that made my life uncomfortable was I couldn't do anything with my hair. I mean, I have to do something with my hair. I don't have beautiful hair. I can go to bed, get up in the morning, and I look gorgeous. No, I look like a bunch of sparrows have been nesting in my head when I get up. And it was really annoying me that I couldn't do anything. I found this. I got it off Amazon, and you charge it. See, you can use this battery to charge this. Now what this does, I tried it out when I bought it. It was $17. I tried it out when I bought it. It's fully charged at the moment. If I turned it on, it would heat enough for me to be able to do something with my hair. Because that, I know to some people, when you're in the middle of a snowstorm or a blizzard or, I don't know, some natural disastrous event, the last thing you'll think about was your hair. But everyone is different, and that is something I just can't get up and go out without doing something to my hair. Not because I'm vain, but because it looks such a mess. I just can't. So that's that. Don't laugh at it. The next thing was a light source. Yeah, you need light, because I got stuck with not a single candle except Yankee candles. And trust me, you don't want to use heavily scented Yankee candles as your emergency lighting. Within an hour of walking around with these candles, I had a migraine from all the chemicals they were releasing. And I had about 4 burning. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. So when I started planning ahead about a year ago, I found this on Amazon and I bought it. It's a lantern. Takes 4 AA batteries, and it was $8. Right, okay. Here is the Dollar Tree version, which cost, yeah, $1, and it takes 3 batteries, and look at the difference. This one, for $1, is twice as bright as this one. I love these, absolutely love them. I could have got 8 of these for what I paid for that other one. So, I found this. I couldn't find them when everyone else was hauling them. Couldn't find them. I think I hauled this. I found it a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, oh, I hope they bring those back, because I will buy about 5 of them. I found another one, and I found it, and I was going to haul it on my yesterday's haul, but I thought, no, I'll save it for this video. I found another one. I want about 4 more, because these are amazing for $1. And they're so bright, and you can just put them around the house. Obviously, no good having just that. So I have a selection of torches too from the Dollar Tree, which I've been collecting when I see them. No good having any of those things unless you've got a copious supply of batteries. So this is what I've been buying. Most of these things take an AA, so although I do have AAAs, this is where I'm concentrating my efforts most, and every time I go in, I grab a pack, especially if I can see brand names like Panasonic. I get the alkaline because I remember one of the other haulers saying that they are much better. So I always get the alkaline, and I now have a big old plastic box, really, full of batteries. So I'm good to go in that department. Next thing is, you want to minimize the amount of water you use. I was without water in the other house. In this house, because I was direct feed, in this house, I don't know whether when the electricity goes off, whether I'm going to have water or not. I don't know. I have a tank now, so I'm assuming that I might. But in any event, if you're conserving water, you don't want to be using a lot for washing up dishes. So I ordered these off Amazon ages ago. I hate using disposables because I feel bad about the planet and everything. But these are big. I mean, they're big. And they're kind of a bowl shape, so that if push came to shove, you could eat soup out of them. But you can certainly eat a good plate of food like chicken and dumplings, green beans and mashed potato, and it won't slop everywhere. And these are made from sugarcane fibres. They're fully compostable. They can go on your compost heap. They are a renewable source, so I didn't feel too bad about these. I got 50 of them. I tried them out with a sloppy food, you know, like spaghetti and stuff. The Dollar Tree plates are great, the little fancy plates. I buy them a lot, but I use them mainly for kiddies sandwiches, snacks. If I make a birthday cake for someone, I'll send a matching set of plates and napkins with them. But for heavy, hot food, no, don't use those. And I know they sell another plate, which I haven't tried, but I know it's not recyclable. And they also sell those polystyrene ones, and I really don't like those. I can't eat off those. So these, I think, were great. They're almost like a bowl, not quite, but they are very sturdy, and they don't go soggy when you eat off them. And then I got my son these knives, forks and spoons, not a soup spoon, it's a teaspoon, but you could eat soup with it. I just put them in my drawer and I thought I'll use them for something else, but then I realized that I could easily put those in my tote, in my garage, my emergency tote, and I now have cutlery that I don't have to wash up if I have a water shortage. Okay, and then I got these. These aren't recyclable, and I have another sleeve of these. They came in sleeves of 50. This is the remnants of the first sleeve, but they are 16-ounce disposable cups for hot or cold. And if you are conserving water, then you can drink your coffee out of those. Nothing wrong with them except the fact that they aren't recyclable, which is sad. But I got them anyway, just to have them. Then, oh, and I forgot, I've been buying these too. These are the unscented Dollar Tree candles. I've got about 6. They work well, and they've got a long burn time, and they're not scented, and that's the main thing. Do not get scented candles, do not. So I have about 6 of those in my tote. On to hygiene. Yes, I get my loo rolls from Sam's Club, but every time I go in the Dollar Tree now, I've just been picking up a pack of those. I'm going to put them away, forget I've got them, continue buying my loo rolls from Sam's Club. But if anything happens, like the TP issue that we all went through, I know I've got some, and not only for me, because I was well stocked with loo rolls when they became like gold dust, so I was able to help other people out, like my son and friends who had children and ran out very quickly. Luckily, I had a full cupboard of them, and I was able to help other people out. So I've got these, and I will buy a pack every time I go into the Dollar Tree. The other thing is, if you are stuck at home and the S has hit the fan, you might want to wash your undies. Let's put it bluntly. Hand wash. So I have actually some non-foaming detergent that is in my laundry room, because you don't want a lot of bubbles that you've then got to use a lot of water to rinse out. So I've got this low bubbling detergent, and I've got this. I've had this forever. It hangs in my garage. I still use it. I use it a lot. It was great. It came from Amazon. It's got all hooked up wrong somehow. But it came from Amazon, and if you have to wash something out, this is great. These are clips. See? So you can just hang your undies on there if you haven't, if you do have to wash something out in an emergency. And there it is. These are good for camping as well. Okay. The other things are nearly to the end. You're thinking, thank goodness for that. These old things, are we not all sick of them? I know I'm sick of them. Okay, these are my masks of choice. I do like the disposable. I can breathe in these. These are a good fit. They cover right down my chin. I feel, put them on like that, and they pull right down. No gaps. You can pinch it over your nose. They're perfect. When I bought my first 50 off Amazon, they were $35. I bought some a while back, and they were $20-something, and I've just ordered 50 more, and they were $9. So I've got these. I have a pack like this in my car. I've got these, which I'm going to put away in my emergency tote. They're just going to stay there. And yeah, they're my mask of choice. I have tried all the others. I've tried the fabric masks. I don't like them. I just like these. I wear once, I throw them away. If I go to the Dollar Tree, I put a mask on when I come out. I get to my car, in the back of my car, I've got a box of sandwich bags from the Dollar Tree. Take my mask off, put it in the sandwich bag, zip it up, and put it in a bin if there is one. If there isn't, I take it home and immediately put it in my bin. If I go to another store, I take out a fresh mask. I don't reuse them. I like the disposable ones. Then, I don't know, I wish I'd bought 100 bottles of this. I didn't. This has been in my emergency tote. It's not antibacterial, but it is that Nature Box hand soap, and this is the coconut oil, cold pressed coconut oil. Oh my goodness, I love this stuff. I wish I could get my hands on some more. I bought about 4. This is the one that was in my emergency tote in the garage, and it's going to go back in there. My shop is not stocking hand soap. Has none. The only one it had the last time I went in was the soft soap in the bottle that you have to pick up and squeeze. I don't like those. I like the ones with the pump that you just can go like that. Minimal touch, and there you go. So that's going back in my emergency tote. The other thing that I have stocked up on are these. I take them anyway, but I have 3 bottles in my emergency tote. You take 2 a day. It's 100% of all the vitamin C you will need. And they're elderflower or elderberry gummies. I used to make elderberry syrup when I lived in England. You can go to any hedgerow and you can pick it, and it's free. And I used to make it for my mum, and she never got a cold or flu. I also used to make rosehip syrup, but I can't find any of that stuff around here. It's all on private land. So I've got 3 of these. I get them off Amazon, and they are a good source of vitamin C if all else fails. So I've got those. And I think that's everything. I'm out of breath. Anyway, I know it was a weird video for me to put up. Well, I feel weird about all my videos, but I hope it gave you all ideas that you can use the Dollar Tree, because the majority of this stuff came from the Dollar Tree. You can use it, and bit by bit, you still got time. Winter's not, our winter hits hard, December, January, February. So we've all got time. Apparently it's going to be a mild winter. That's all the predictions this year. I hope they're right, but if they're not, I feel... Oh, the other thing I was going to say, warmth. I'm on the verge, or was on the verge, of buying a generator. I saw one at Home Depot for $109. Every male I spoke to said, don't. It will be rubbish. Don't buy it. You need to spend more money. So I started looking at more expensive ones, and I'm not up for spending $600 upwards on a generator that I might never use. So what I've decided to do is bypass on that. I have in my tote 2 hot water bottles. I love hot water bottles. I grew up with a hot water bottle when I was a kid. I can boil some water. I can put water in my hot water bottles, put an extra duvet on my bed, a beanie on my head, socks on my feet, water bottle on my back, hot water bottle on my feet, and I'm as cozy as a bug in a rug. So I've decided to pass on the generator. If I could have bought that one and people said, yeah, do it, because all I wanted it for was to power a small space heater. That's all, a tiny little space heater that I could maybe heat one room. But everyone said don't do it, and I'm really not up to spending, well, I haven't got it to spend. That's the end of that story, and I wouldn't do, I maybe use it. So anyway, that, I think, is that. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it was so long. I'm going to go because, oh my gosh, YouTube's going to get so mad at me. All right, bye-bye.